Good morning, Wareham. It is Wednesday, July 10th, and we have a great show here for you. The news headlines, the weather report, and today in history. This morning, Kat Jones, aka the Queen of Onset, is in the studio to share about a great event coming up this weekend. And for our coffee segment, Alicia Neal from Angel Babies nonprofit organization shares their mission. But first, I would like to take this moment to thank Not Your Average Antiques, an antique shop down Cranberry Highway in East Wareham, for donating the props that you see in the morning show. So stay tuned because the weather and the news headlines are next. Well, I am loving this. This weather is fantastic. Today is yet another perfect day, high at 86 degrees, and tonight low at 66 degrees. Tomorrow is no exception. Temperatures will reach a peak of 81 degrees and drop to 70 degrees at night. And now to the news. There were a few news stories over the week, and here are the news headlines. Wareham Week had the following. Wareham Planning Board members are emphasizing the importance of improving the property at 349 Main Street. This comes after the board approval for a used car dealership licensed for 47 cars. Board members agreed that they wanted to see landscaping or other work done to make the property more visually appealing. The business owner's designs call for installation of a wheelchair ramp, a sign at the front, lights to illuminate the lot, and an enclosed chain link security fence. Gateway Motors license has already been approved by the Board of Selectmen. The hearing will continue on July 22nd, at which point adjusted plans will be presented. And to protect the wells in the Maple Spring Water Purification Plant, the Wareham Water Commissioners are considering purchasing land surrounding the wells of Plymouth Road. Water Superintendent Andy Reid said the proposal would essentially provide a buffer for the wells in the Maple Springs Water Purification Plant, currently undergoing a $12 million renovation. And now Plymouth, Carver, and Wareham are among 3 Plymouth County towns to see a spike on drug overdose. South Shore Coalition of Law Enforcement and Healthcare Providers Fighting Opioid Abuse said that the number was higher than usual this year. The coalition encourages people to learn about the signs of an overdose, including slow and shallow breathing, pale and clammy skin, choking, guggling sounds, slow or irritating heartbeat, and the loss of consciousness. And that's all for news headlines this morning. Stay with us, and we'll be right back after this short break. Well, if you enjoy summer barbecues and pork roast, then you should pay attention to my next guest. I have Kat Jones, aka the Queen of Onset, here to talk about a great event taking place this weekend. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you
Good
for
morning.
being here. Good morning.
Morning, Wareham.
Such a busy woman. Oh my goodness. So tell me, you just had a successful event last Sunday.
We sure did.
Okay.
Yes.
Fireworks.
Yes.
How did it go? How do you compare it to the last year's?
I think overall it was just a great event.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunate that we did have to change it to the rain date, but of course the weather was perfect
On Sunday, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
So-
you can't shoot fireworks off in the rain and that high humidity.
Who controls that? Do you say, okay, we're gonna move on to another rain day, or
I
somebody
ultimately had to make the decision, yes.
else? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's a bummer. But
Yeah.
we had
out,
Saturday.
though.
Saturday morning there was the blessing of the flea
Yep.
and children parade.
Yes.
That was a good event.
It really was. The whole morning was really fantastic.
Oh,
and
my.
I actually liked spreading out the activities over the course of the weekend. It actually
Okay.
made it a little less work. I wasn't
Yes.
as tired Monday morning, but I think the whole weekend went really well. I've heard back from various town departments, and they're all very happy with the way things went. So that makes me happy, and the reaction from the crowd and people's comments and pictures have been all positive.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel really good.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can manage it. And then on each Wednesday we have the Summer of Love.
Yes, tonight's
Who-
Wednesday.
Yeah, oh my goodness, tonight is Wednesday. Yes.
Yes.
Who is playing
Oh,
tonight?
tonight. You don't want to miss tonight's show. We have our good friends 57 Heavy.
Okay.
They're a Cape Cod based band, and tonight they will be performing the music of Pink Floyd. As far as I know, they're doing Animals, which is a
Okay.
Pink Floyd album, and Dark Side of the Moon in their entireties. We have, it looks like a 7-piece band coming. There'll be a light show. And if you like Pink Floyd at all, you don't want to miss this show. It's just dynamite. Just dynamite. They played for us a few years ago.
Yeah.
And just, it was just amazing.
The concerts
So-
are always packed. People
Yeah.
do take advantage. They come
They
out.
do.
It's just brings the community together.
Absolutely.
Oh my-
Absolutely.
So
That's why we
how-
keep doing it.
Yeah, and how can people come in? How those who wants to play or join the Summer of Love?
Basically, they just have to contact me. I do have a bit of a waiting list. It's a very popular event. And, I try to get to everybody. We may change the formatting from year to year, introduce some new bands. We do have some new bands coming in this year
Okay.
that we haven't worked with before. So yeah, I have a growing list. I mean, with all the bands that I have, I could book a band every single day for the entire summer and still not get to everybody,
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's so much talent in the area. We're
Now-
very, very lucky.
Do you
Yeah.
pay? You have to pay the acts, or the acts come just so they can share who they are?
Oh no, everybody gets paid.
Oh my goodness.
Each band member gets $100. And then we do provide sound for the
Yes.
band as well. So I'm not going to disclose that amount.
Okay.
But the sound man does get paid every week.
Wow.
And that's, it's a lot of work.
It
And,
is a lot.
a lot of these guys, music is their life and music is their job. And they should get paid.
Okay.
I wish I could pay everybody more.
Yeah.
But $100 a band member is somewhat of a standard
Absolutely.
in the industry if you play at a nightclub or a bar or whatever.
Okay.
yeah.
I should. I always, each time I pass Onset on Wednesdays, I'm like, oh my God, it's today! It's today!
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope to be there today.
Yeah, it's in full swing. Yeah, we've been averaging about 800 people in the crowd. And that's not including people that are walking around, milling about. Tonight will be a very big show, so come early for the best parking. I would suggest.
Oh, yes.
Parking's free after 6 o'clock unless you park on the pier. We have a great shuttle service in town now. You can park for free at Heinz Field or Lopes Field behind the playground and take a free shuttle. The shuttle's going to be free through the 15th of this month. Thanks to GATRA, the town of Wareham, and Bill's Taxi.
Oh, until the 15th of this month. And then after that, no shuttle, or do you have to pay?
The shuttle would be $1 per rider, and then we'll do $3 for a group of 4 or more.
Okay.
To give people a little bit of a break.
Bad.
It's really not. You park for free, ride the shuttle for $1. You know, it's great.
No risk a ticket.
So far, so good.
Ticket.
Right, exactly.
So tell me about this Saturday.
Yeah, so pig roasts have a long tradition in my family. My dear aunt, who's, she's been passed away quite a long time now, every Labor Day we had a pig roast.
An actual pig?
Yes, they would raise the pig themselves and do what they had to do.
Yeah,
and then we would enjoy fresh roast pig every Labor Day weekend. So that goes back to being a young kid, so it's kind of part of me, I guess. I don't know. I just like to have a good pig roast. So I thought it would make a nice fundraiser for the Onset Bay Association.
Okay.
We have a great band coming this weekend. Walrus Gumboot, the All-Star Beatles tribute. We've worked with them a number of times.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Are they the fellas who did it last summer during Summer of Love? There were
a couple years ago, we had 2 Beatles tribute bands. We had like the earlier Beatles, which was Studio 2, and then we had the later music of the Beatles, which was Walrus Gumboot. They do everything from, the later years, the more psychedelic years, if you will. So we have music from 3 to 6 with Walrus Gumboot. The pig, I should mention, comes from a local farm, 10 of Us Farm in Buzzards Bay. My friend Bob Flynn is going to come and do the cooking. And he's going to start cooking at 9 a.m., so we'll have pig ready by 3. I've also gotten some great side salads from Minkle Boys Catering. Danny Minkle's hooking us up. And we've got potato salad, pasta salad, garden salad. There's a little something for everyone, so even if you don't eat meat, there will still be something for you to eat. We'll have some watermelon for dessert. I'm going to get some corn on the cob, some beans. It'll be a good old-fashioned pig roast barbecue. We'll have burgers, dogs, and chicken, too. You can come for $25 and enjoy everything. Also part of this event, we're having a car show, a classic car show. That's being hosted by Selectman Alan Slavin and my good friend Paul Gerard.
Okay.
They just hosted one recently over at the Tremont. And we've been working very closely with them, promoting this event. We hope to see about 100 cars this weekend. The weather does look really good. So they'll park on the grassy area at the VFW, and we'll be under the pavilion in the back. We're not using the hall this year.
Okay.
We'll be outside in the open air pavilion. So there'll be a classic car show. If people want to just come for just the car show and the music, it's a suggested donation of $10.
Okay.
But if they want everything, if they want to eat and hang out for the day, whatever, it's $25 per person. Half price for kids.
Okay.
If you're an Onset Bay Association member, you get your tickets for $20.
Yeah.
So it behooves you to become a member of the Onset Bay Association.
Sign up right now.
www.onsetbay.org. Click on Become a Member, and it'll direct you to our new software. We're working with some new software called Wild Apricot, and you can become a member. We have all kinds of little perks and benefits, and you can feel good knowing that you're supporting a nonprofit organization here in town.
Well, I do not know about your family, but my family, it's been such a long time since we never had pork roast outside, but just barbecue and getting together.
Sure.
So I feel like, okay, it may not be just a family thing, but I get to have one. So why not go? Summer is not complete until you cook outside.
Exactly. That's kind of what we were thinking was, let's just have a get together. Let's just have fun, eat some food, listen to some good music, and take in a classic car show and just have fun. So we'll have some raffles too. We'll do a 50-50, and we'll have some kids' activities. Yeah. We're going to set up life-size Jenga, badminton. We're working on horseshoes and cornhole right now. So we'll have a bunch of stuff for people to do, or you can just come and hang out.
Oh my God.
Eat and listen to music and check out the car show. It'll be great.
Just call it a party, just outside, onset party, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it sounds great. So
yeah, I'm excited.
Should people reserve ahead of time? Do you need a count?
So we are prepared to feed 150 people. We're bringing, Bob is bringing a 160-pound pig. And that feeds about 150 people. But with everything else we have, we can feed well over 200 people. Advanced tickets are suggested. They have them at the Onset Bay Association office. We're open this week, Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 4. My good friend Bob Camerano at Onset Village Laundromat, who's paying for the band, also has tickets at his place at the Laundromat in Onset. So, yep, it's going to be good.
So tell me so far, how has the organization been doing? Do you still, I mean, you just talked about members, you're looking for even more members, but how is the organization going so far?
I think we're having a really good year. 2019 has been really good.
But you
really
always
strong.
say that.
I know, but
I
feel like this year. I mean, if you look back at the chili contest that we had in March.
Oh my!
Yeah.
The
I hope that happens this weekend. I don't want to turn people away.
You needed even a bigger venue.
Oh my goodness! I know, it was crazy.
That was a success.
Yeah, we weren't expecting that. So it's been a lot of like, oh, we weren't kind of expecting that.
Yeah.
You know, we anticipate and we're prepared, but at the same time, it's like, oh my God, people actually came out. They want to have fun. They're interested in what we do. They care. It's, you know, it's good. And they're learning, you know, we're educating people really on the scope of all of the things that we offer. Because it's not just concerts on Wednesdays or the chili contest. It's, you know, it's Shakespeare. It's Illumination Night.
Oh my
it's,
God,
goodness gracious, a street painting festival, you know, all kinds of good stuff. You know, and, you know, we've had to change things up this year. You know, we put some things in the back burner, things that didn't work out so well. You know, we're not going to have movie night this year, but maybe, you know, maybe next year.
Okay.
But sometimes you have to look at events and pick them apart and reevaluate them and see what really works and what doesn't. So I'm happy to scale back in some ways because it lightens up the load for us as volunteers, because we are all volunteering our time.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, so. And you are volunteering 100% of your time.
I love it. I love this stuff. I found my calling in life. I just have to figure out how to get paid for it. I know that sounds ridiculous, but hey, I deliver pizza for Mark's a couple days a week, and you know, play in a band, and you know, helping Gatra with the shuttle and everything. So I survived.
And you're happy.
I survived just fine. I mean, I don't need much. You know, it's a very simple life. But,
oh my good Kat. Onset is very, very grateful to have you.
Thank you.
I mean, they're very lucky.
Thank you, Queen, for calling me the Queen of Onset.
The Queen of Onset. I mean, you know, you just said like, okay, if you need any information about anything, just talk to Kat. Talk to Kat. It's like it's just that name. Yeah. You know.
I know some stuff.
You know some stuff. You and Winner Dean. Yes. Between
my
you
mentor.
two. Oh, geez.
And one of our best volunteers.
Yeah.
By the way, she's been there since day one. Yeah.
Very good.
Just amazing.
Well, thank you so much for being here this morning, and I hope to be there, at least to film the pig roast. I want to see how you can actually cook this pig.
Yeah, he's coming at 9 in the morning. So
the head, the tail, and everything.
He's got a special contraption. I'm not exactly sure how he prepares the pig. Everybody does it differently. Yeah. He's old school.
I like old school.
Yeah, he doesn't use one of those China boxes that has become quite popular, which cooks the pig perfectly. Yeah. Quick story. A few years ago, we did try to have a pig roast, and I attempted to cook the pig myself and nearly burnt the VFW pavilion down. It was just, no one else was around. It was just my boyfriend Ian and myself and the pig. And we borrowed this contraption from my brother called the pork chopper. Yeah. And it was a big grill on the back of a trike, a motorcycle. Yes. And my brother, his truck broke down. We had to go get the trailer to go get the pork chopper, bring it back to Onset, and just, nothing worked out that weekend. We still ate pig. But it was engulfed in flames for about 20 minutes. And melted the tires a little bit on the pork chopper and almost burnt the pavilion down. But we managed. We did okay. Okay. Yeah. So you're going to stay away from the kitchen. I'm not cooking the pig this weekend. Okay. No, we have hired a professional. And hopefully the weather cooperates. It looks like a good weather day. Absolutely. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness! All right, so there is a party on Saturday. Yes, we'll make sure you stay away, further away, or at least the firefighters, Onset firefighters, should be there and stand by. Stand by.
Well, that was Kat Jones, everybody, the queen of onset, talking about a great event taking place this weekend. Tickets are on sale right now. You can buy them at the moment or during the event, $25 and half price for the kids. And if you are a member, you get them for $20. And if you just want to see the car show and the music, it's only $10, right? Yeah. Okay, but why just the car show and the music? Go for the whole thing, the whole day, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break and we're going to be right back with more. Well, if you are into refurbishing, there's a great place for you to visit. It's called Seekers in Buzzards Bay. They will take your ugly old furniture and turn it into something completely new, something that you're going to be so proud. You're actually going to be like, come in my house so you can take a look at what I have. So here is a little bit about Seekers. A tale of an old furniture with a fairy tale ending. Just a little scent of love mixed in with a dash of ingenuity, and voila, an antiquated furniture transformed. Seek the enchantment at 111 Main Street in Buzzards Bay. At the entrance to Cape Cod lies Seekers, a resale store featuring upcycled, contemporary, antique, and unique home offerings. From painted leather to the newest furniture trends, the showroom will take your breath away.
Well, I take pride in getting pieces that no one else has. When you look around here, you'll be able to see there's a few unique pieces. There's a lot of people's pieces that we haven't even touched yet because we want someone to come in, fall in love with it like we did.
Diane Annan Benson had a successful career in Switzerland, playing professional basketball.
22 years in Switzerland. It's a perfect country. I had a perfect husband. It was all wonderful and great. I had some great...
And after 22 years of acclaimed life, she returned home to Massachusetts. While working in the house rehabilitating business, she saw an opportunity. Years later, she opened Seekers in 2014 in Wareham before relocating the store to Buzzards Bay.
The reason we started this whole business was because we were running into furniture that people were leaving behind, and it was so beautiful, too beautiful to leave it behind. So we came up with this concept to refinish, refurbish, repaint.
Now reaping the fruits of her hard work, she confesses it wasn't easy starting up, but her faith kept her going.
They told me that no one would come over the bridge. No one from Cape would come over the bridge to come to Seekers, and they are.
alongside her sister Donna Grant and a close friend Tamara Crosby. The store embraces handcrafted work featuring local artists around the region.
In every moment I see you.
Through upcycling, Seekers helps people hold on to their family heirlooms.
A lot of things that are happening right now is the younger generation is inheriting their grandparents' furniture that was in the basement, and they're feeling kind of sad about getting rid of it, so they call us and they say, what can you do for us?
Yeah.
And we just sit down with them and we come up with a color scheme, and
Okay.
we end up sending them home, and they're
All right.
happy, and we're happy too. This is the newest piece we've just finished. I wish it was in better light, but this is a piece that we had in the store forever, and it was not painted. And someone came in and said, I've looked at your piece. I want to have it painted a special green. This is almost called emerald green, but we actually made this color. My sister, she's a color artist, so she made the color for us. And then we painted it and added the knobs, and we have one beautiful piece that you can't buy anywhere else. This is an old cedar chest that everyone has one of these in their basements today. And we get them out of the basement. This is painted gray with a dark wax on it. And this is called decoupage. This is the newest thing right now. It's all hand cut and placed strategically on a piece of furniture to give it that special touch. And then we also added an upholstery strip to it. So now it becomes part of everyday living.
What's your vision? Are you looking to expand, to grow? Are we going to see another shop in another town called Seekers?
Yeah, good question. I've been thinking about opening something else, but I've always been told that I should run a good shop. That was one of the things that people keep telling me. Don't expand until you've got this shop down right. And that's what we're trying to do every day. We come in and say, do we need more local artists? Do we need more vendors? Do we need to get different types of furniture in here? It's been a long road, and I think we're on the right one. We're on the right path. So opening a new store, that could be something down the line. But right now, we want this store to be up and running, and we want people to know about us here.
Bring your imagination to Seekers and let it go wild. With an option to buy as is or refurbished, you can choose from a wide variety of knob collections, colors, furniture, and techniques. Well, hello and thank you for being here this morning. We are broadcasting live from our WCTV studio in Wareham. This is Good Morning Wareham, your source for local news, weather, traffic report, and more information. And now for a moment in history. Let's take a look at where we were today in history. Well, on this day in 1925, the infamous monkey trial began in Dayton, Tennessee. A teacher by the name of John Scopes was arrested after teaching Darwin's theory of evolution in high school, which violated a law passed months earlier that made it a misdemeanor to teach against the idea of divine creation. The trial quickly became a spectacle, and Scopes was eventually found guilty and charged a $100 fine. It's tough to believe that such a thing actually happened, but that's our history. And on this day in 1850, Millard Fillmore was sworn in as the 13th president of these United States. The inauguration day was held in July because of President Zachary Taylor's death on July 9th in 1850. Fillmore, the vice president for Tyler, remained president until 1853 when he lost his election bid to Franklin Pierce. And 1 year ago on this day in 2019, the final member of Thai soccer team was rescued from a cave. 12 teenager soccer players and their coach went into a cave to explore as they were working on team binding exercise, but were all trapped underground when a monsoon flooded the cave's entrance. For weeks, the world was on edge as people tried to find the best way to save everyone. Finally, after 17 days trapped, all of the members of the team were saved, though one of the men rescuing them from Thai Navy drowned while delivering oxygen to the boys. And for today's birthday, we make a shout out to Nikola Tesla. Born in 1856, this Serbian American was a pioneer in the field of electricity, and he helped develop the alternating current that is still used to this day. And that's all for today in History segment. To learn cool historical facts, please go online under history.com. Stay with us. The coffee segment is next. But for now, Steve Miller goes over this month's book club picks.
Welcome to our first installment of Your Eyes Check Out of the Week from the Wareham Free Library. This week, we're going to highlight books that our book clubs are reading this month. Our first book is Homicide in Hardcover by Kate Carlisle, the book that our mystery book club is reading this month. When Surgeon Adam Karavosky leaves Detective Brooklyn Wainwright the cryptic message, "Remember the devil," and a priceless copy of Goethe's Faust in a pool of his own blood, it's up to her to figure out who the murderer is so she can clear her own name. This month, the Friday Fiction Book Club will be reading Grief Cottage by Gail Goodwin. When 11-year-old Marcus is sent to live with his great aunt on a remote island in South Carolina, he becomes intrigued with a mysterious cottage where a boy and his parents disappeared 50 years before. When Marcus begins to visit the cottage daily, a ghost of the boy appears and Marcus begins to court the ghost, never sure whether the ghost's intentions are friendly or sinister. Lastly, the nonfiction book club pick is Ages for Hawk by Helen MacDonald. MacDonald recounts the story of how she adopted and raised a young goshawk to help her cope with her father's death. The book was among the top 25 lists for 17 different publications, and it was named to the New York Times bestseller book of the year list. If you're interested in joining our popular mystery book club, they meet on the second Thursday of the month at the main library. The Friday Fiction Book Club meets on the third Friday of each month at the Spinney Library, and the Nonfiction Book Club meets on the fourth Thursday of each month at the main library. If you'd like to join one of our book clubs, you can pick up any of these books at the circulation desk of the main library, where copies are available in regular print, large type, and audiobook.
Well, good morning, and thank you for being with us this morning. This is the coffee segment, and my guest today is Alicia Neal from Angel Babies nonprofit organization, here to talk about their mission and the work that they do. Unfortunately, this is going to be a very somber discussion this morning, and so I apologize if it will trigger any feelings that you will have, but you will come from Alicia. She will make it clear how necessary this her work is to those parents who never got to see their children grow and to become fully grown people with their own lives. Anyways, welcome. I am just, oh my, okay, so let's start with what Angel Babies is.
Angel Babies is a local nonprofit. I am based in Buzzards Bay, Wareham area, and we provide memorial events and services to families who have lost babies. In the last year, we have expanded that and providing burial gowns made out of formal dresses, especially wedding gowns. I collect them. We host weekly events. This week I have 2 locally, one in Bourne and one in Wareham, where volunteers can come out, help cut, trace, and sew the gowns, and then we donate them back to the community. So all the local hospitals here have received them, several in Massachusetts, Maine, Connecticut.
The list is extensive.
Yeah, and it's growing fast.
Fast.
Yeah, so.
Which it, to me, is, normally when we talk about something that is growing, you're like, oh, good. But for this, popularity is not a good thing.
No, unfortunately, 71 babies a day are born still, and 1 in 4 pregnancies is lost, whether that's miscarriage, late miscarriage. So 1 in 4 women.
1 in 4 women.
Yeah.
And so, and you take care with what ages? How far do you go?
We will go to any baby born. So
Okay.
it can be as small as 12, 13, 14 weeks, all the way up to newborn. I've also have a few baptism gowns that we keep in stock for older babies that are larger that have passed due to other causes. If a family locally needed them, I have them ready to go. But we donate the gowns to different hospitals, so that way they're there if a family needs them.
So how did you get into doing this?
I lost my daughter, and she was too small for typical clothing. She was 17 weeks gestation. She was born. She was super tiny, and there was nothing. We had to wrap her in a face cloth because she was so tiny. So it became my mission to just give all babies a little bit of something. Those are the only moments families are going to have, and if I can take a little bit of the pressure of, my baby's too tiny, what are they going to wear? I don't have anything to bury my child in. If I can just take that off their plate with everything else they're dealing with, makes it all worth it. And to be able to give this to families is incredible. To have the volunteers to help.
You're donating 100 gowns?
100 kits, which includes
Kits,
a
okay.
gown, a blanket, a hat, and little trinkets so they don't leave empty-handed. So over 100 a month right now is where we're at. The goal was 1,000 this year, and we're exceeding that right now.
And because there is a need for it.
Yep.
So what happens? Parents call you to say, I lost one?
Normally I just drop off between like 20 and 50 depending on the hospital, and they'll have them there, and then their bereavement coordinator or chaplain will reach out to me and say, hey, we're getting low. Can we get another, whatever number that they need? I also work with several doulas, birth coaches, locally, and if they have a family that is lost, they'll send me a message, hey, I have a little girl that needs a dress, can I pick something up? And I'll just have it ready for them when they need it.
Now, when I saw these kits, oh my goodness, okay. As small as this.
Yeah, we actually make a size smaller too. That's about the size of your hand.
And you're using dolls, right? To make.
Yep, we've used doll clothes, we've used onesies, we have created all the patterns. pretty much trial and error through the sewing volunteers.
Yeah.
and
So tell me about the process. I mean, people donate. What is it like to do this work? I know you're trying to give back, but how do you keep yourself
I have
sane?
I have an incredible support system. I'm very lucky. My husband and my best friends are very supportive. So for me, I have them to fall back on when I do hit that emotional mark. Because as a lost mom, I do also understand it. You know, when I get a message from a family that says, "Thank you, my daughter was just buried in one of your gowns." It is. I cry for them. I know the pain that they're dealing with, but I'm very lucky to have my support system behind me to help me through it and be able to offer this to families. You know,
When you lost your little girl, did you find, except for not having clothes there, was there support system places you can go and talk and share about this, or do you think that we are not there yet?
locally, no. There's an amazing online community. When I lost my daughter, there's been a lot of changes. It's been almost 10 years. So that is something I've been working on, is trying to help break the silence, let parents know I'm here, I'm available. Many times I'll host like a luncheon or tea party at a restaurant and be like, just come down, you know, moms can just talk, we can, you know, just talk about our feelings and where we're at in our path of loss. And, you know, it's really helped several families in the area. So, and I also host memorial events where they get to come out and remember their babies and have their babies' names, you know, displayed and remembered and not forgotten, which is a huge part of it.
So, oh my goodness. Last time I heard about angel babies from Wicked Local newspaper, and it was the high school
Yes.
girls donating their
Yep.
gowns. Okay, so tell me how you arrange these events and how people are responding to them.
The events are incredible. The response is amazing. We have volunteers who come out. I kind of put the word out and just said, if you have a location with tables and chairs and would love to host an event where you don't mind a bunch of people coming in and taking over with wedding dresses everywhere, let me know. I just had a woman in Connecticut reach out and say, I have a location. What dates work for you? So we just set that up in Connecticut. I travel all over. Every week I'm in a different location. It's become kind of cool to see different places. I went to Maine for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm going to Maryland next month to host an event in Maryland.
Okay. And it's the donating and the sewing.
Yep.
Okay.
They can donate their gowns. We'll have a whole hall where they can come and volunteer and sew. And there's enough for any skill level. At every event, there's always something anybody can do. I've had teenagers come and help, teenage boys, which they don't like it, but they you know, get dragged by parents, and by the time they leave, they're blown away. Even at 16, 15 years old, they understand, you know, that they're helping a family, and it's pretty incredible to see, you know, the transformation from a wedding dress into these little gowns, and the creativity and the love that's put into them.
I am just, and I apologize, I'm just out of words, because yet though we are seeing these beautiful gowns here today, but it is a child that's going to be in them, and I cannot comprehend, fathom how small some of them are. So during your journey, what could you point out, moments, stories, what have you learned from doing this?
I have learned a lot. The number of people who have lost and have lost years ago, who will come to the events and they won't say anything through the whole event, and then they'll say goodbye and they're like, I did this in memory of my son who I lost in 1975, and I haven't been able to grieve, because back then it was a different time. You know, it's a lot more, it's still a very quiet subject, but it's a lot better than what it was. There have been a lot of strives in breaking the silence and remembering our babies and saying their names. But it's incredible the amount of people that have experienced it. That for me is always the touchiest part. It's the families, the woman who made the little vests.
Yes.
She lost an older son, and she does it in his memory. And every time I'm on the other side of the state, we meet up, and she has a stack of gowns that she makes in his memory. He was 19, but it was still her baby. So she's like, I get it. And she's like, I can sew, and this is the least I can do for other people. So she turned her, and that's what is incredible, is how many people have turned their loss and grief into something positive. And it's giving them something to give back, remember their babies, and a healthy way to grieve. They are able to just do a little bit for somebody else and understand that dark road.
What are families facing when they lose someone as young as this?
Everything.
Okay.
They're losing all birthdays and graduations, and they're having all their moments with their child within hours. And, they're losing all their hopes and dreams, their security, sometimes their faith. It's a hard road that it makes it difficult. They ask a lot of, like, God, why? Or, what did I do wrong? How could I have prevented this? Did I not take the vitamins enough? Or, there's a lot that happens. And then there's the planning. You're having now to plan, depending on the age of your baby, funerals or cremations. And those are not questions you want to think about for your child. And they're having to do it in such a quick moment. There's only a day at most, that they get to spend with their child, have those moments, and then they have to plan their funerals or memorial services or whatever they choose. But it's all in one. It's a lot for families to take in.
So at least they have this to not worry about.
And that's the thing, is to order a gown this size online, to have it overnighted, you're looking at $100. On top of then funeral services and memorials and cremation or whatever. And if we can offer that to families and take one thing off their plates they don't have to worry about, is a huge gift to them. And that's what I've heard, is it was my daughter was dressed, or my son had something beautiful to wear when he met his sister. And that's what we want, is we want to take that one thing off their plate. We can't take the pain away, but we can give them a little bit of love and comfort and a little bit of beauty in their moments with their baby.
What can society do you feel? What can we continue doing in order to provide additional comfort?
Be there for your friends and family. Be there. And if that's just sitting with them, bringing them dinner, if they have other children helping, and say their baby's name. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing you can do for a family. Because many times people feel that saying their name is going to hurt them, but in reality, it might make them cry, but it's going to make them cry because you've remembered. And I know for me, whenever I hear my daughter's name, even if it's a crowd and somebody's calling their kid, I always go, there she is.
What's her name?
Hunter Grace.
Hunter Grace.
So whenever I hear it, it just makes my heart happy that her name is being continued. Her legacy is still there. And that's all families want, is their babies to be remembered.
Now, how easy was it for you to take your grief, to turn it into this beautiful work?
It was a process. It started small. I started by just doing graphics online with quotes for grief. And then I started doing events. And it was a process. I had to make sure I was okay with each step of it. And then a year ago when I started doing the gowns, I was like, this is where I was meant to be. I quit my full-time job, and this is what I do. I've been very blessed that I've been able to follow this path 110% and to see it grow to this stage of where it's at. But it's been a process. There's nights where I cry because I'm a lost mom. It happens. You have to let it out, but I am completely honored to be able to do this for families.
How did community receive your work the first time you went and donated your work?
It depends on the hospital.
Okay.
It really, and who I talk to. Sometimes I drop off with nurses. Sometimes I drop off with chaplains. The last chaplain I dropped off to cried. He just sat there and he goes, I have no words for this gift. He goes, I can't tell you what this is going to do for families. He's like, thank you. And I was like, that's all I want. I gave him my card. So because it's Providence, their bigger hospitals tend to have more losses than like our local hospitals here. You know, I'll donate 10 kits to Toby, 10 kits to Falmouth. It's a lot smaller. But it's been overwhelming, the response and just the thank you, because it's a huge gift and a little bit of something off the family's plates.
And I feel that one important thing that you're doing, and among many, is you're bringing the grief to the surface and you're acknowledging the grief. Normally, when we lose a loved one, obituaries are printed.
Yep.
You get to invite people to come and celebrate or mourn with you. But when you lose somebody this young, families, I would imagine, would feel like they're the only one who can mourn or celebrate such a life because their child didn't get to have
Right.
friends.
They don't have those moments where you have an obituary, where you have your friends and your relatives and your wives and your children and all these moments in life. So it can be difficult. There's many times when families don't do anything because they don't. It's their family either is just okay. Well, it's time to go. It's time to move on. Let's and that's not what is needed. They need those moments. This is all they've got. That memorial service is the only moment that they're going to have with their child. It's, they're not going to get any other, So to be able to bring grief and grieving and healthy ways to do it, and it's very important to me because you can go down a dark road. I have lost 7 lost moms in 10 years that have went down a dark road. Yep, there's been 7 personal friends of mine throughout the country that just couldn't handle it. It's sad, it's heartbreaking. It really does break your heart in ways that's unbelievable. And for me, this has rebuilt my heart and be able to see the good in people and to have the volunteers come and help and know that I'm helping them in their paths is incredible.
How are you looking to grow? I know that you have a goal, how many you need to make. How else are you looking to expand your mission?
I would like to eventually be all over New England and then expand further as donations and volunteers and all of that. By the end of September, we'll be in like 6 or 7 different states, from Buffalo to New York to Baltimore, all over the area. I have family in Tennessee who is a labor and delivery nurse. She's going to take some to donate to their hospitals down there. So I just would like to continue to grow and provide as much as we can, so that way families have it.
And your next event is when?
Wednesday, actually tonight.
Tonight, okay.
In Bourne at the community building from 4:30 to 8:30, and then I have one in Wareham on Sunday.
Okay.
So.
Now, may I ask you a personal, we shared your personal story. How old are you, Alicia?
I am 33.
You're 33, you're such a young woman. So tell me, what advice do you have for those listening who feel that they may not have the same courage that you have?
You're not alone. You're not alone. I'm always available if you need somebody, but you're not alone in this path. There's always somebody available. I have a whole team of women who are willing to talk and help and be there for you.
And do you think this is a women burden
No,
or men? Okay.
Fathers, uncles, grandparents, I work with them all. Anybody, because grandparents they're watching their child suffer, and then they're also losing their grandchild. Anyone, I am always available. I have an online support group families can join, and no, you're not alone in this path. Please don't ever feel you're alone.
Well, thank you so much for being here this morning.
You're welcome.
All right, that was my guest, Alicia Neal. I am out of words, and it rarely happens, but we were talking about Angel Babies, a nonprofit organization who makes kits for those stillborn babies so they can have some dignity and their parents can have a moment to mourn and celebrate their creation and yeah, just present their babies in a wonderful light. So she was sharing about her organization. There is an event tonight in Bourne, one in Wareham about to come. If you need to know more about Angel Babies, you can visit them on Facebook. If you Google Angel Babies, they have a website, Angel Babies. You can get to learn more how you can help, or if you're seeking some help, some counseling. Also, I'm sure they can point you out to other directions, people that they can help you further. With that, this concludes our morning show. The show will be rebroadcasted this evening at 6 p.m. It will also go on YouTube, Wareham Community Television YouTube. And with that, we'll be back on Friday with more. Thank you so much, Wareham. Have a pleasant day. Bye.